educational, and we put together a truly cosmic playlist, too.
Won't you come fly me to the moon?
Total eclipse of the heart. It's the countdown to the eclipse. Complete live coverage of the Great American Total Solar Eclipse, Monday, April 8th on News Talk 1480 WHBC and Mix 94.1.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
WHBC AM Canton. Reliable as ever. Powered by Friends and Family Credit Union. It's time to bring a friend into the family. On News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Bringing a whole new attitude to your afternoons. It's Kenny and JT on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
We are thrilled, absolutely thrilled for our next guest to join us here in studio in the Hall of Fame city, his second home now. Well, third home. Right? So you go Florida, you go Wisconsin, and now Canton, Ohio. And he's here as part of a new program that's happening at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the Residency program, and he's the first to be a part of it. LeRoy Butler of the Green Bay Packers, class of 2022, joining us in studio. Right. How are you, Hall of Famer?
Well. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Always great to have a chance to catch up with a Pro Football Hall of Famer, and for you to be the first in this residency program. I'm just curious, when you heard about it, what was your reaction to it? And now that you're living it, being here all week in Canton, how's it been going?
Well, when they introduced the idea to me, I said yes before they got out the schedule. I'm dead serious because Canton is a special place. And although, yes, I wish everyone was Packer fans, but when you're in Canton, we're all on the same team. When you have families come in from all over, matter of fact, I got very excited. I met the Iowa head coach, her husband. I met him yesterday because he came over to the museum, and I was out greeting people, which kind of was a shock.
Right.
But that's what I love to do. And we kind of was just chopping it up, and next thing you know, he knows Aaron Campman. Play for the Packers. And we always, as Packers, draft somebody from Iowa. We just do. So that was a good connection. But the good thing about it being here is I just wanted people in the community to know that the Hall of Famers are here to help them make revenue, to have people be a part of nonprofits. I went and talked to the chamber, who's very important. We want more businesses to join the chamber, and being on shows like you guys, it gives us a platform to know that we're not just here in August. We're here all the time.
Right.
So I was one of the guys that spearheaded to be the first one to do it, and I'm so proud to do that.
So many similarities between the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the Green Bay Packers, and we even dialed up some winter weather for you today.
Right.
And it's snowing just like you're back home. So you get a Florida kid going to Green Bay. And obviously, the one thing we all know, being fans of the NFL, is we think about the Green Bay Packers. We think of teams like the Dallas Cowboys, the Pittsburgh Steelers. But we think of that ice bowl and how cold it is. Being a Florida guy, playing your entire career in Green Bay, what are your thoughts on playing in a cold weather town?
How'd you adapt?
The people make it so warm. But put that to the side for a minute. So I'm a rookie. Florida State, used to winning 11 games. And I come in, I just got the phone call, just got drafted. It was like May 2nd or something. And I come in, and the pilot, I'm on the plane, and the pilot says, a beautiful day in Green Bay. The wind is coming from the north. It's a beautiful 17 degrees. I said to myself, are you kidding me? I don't believe it. And some guy, I don't know who this guy was, he gets up and walks up to where I was sitting and gave me his Packer jacket.
Really?
When I landed, it was like a Tuesday at like 2 or 3 o'clock. It was 1,000 people at the airport. Everybody got on green and gold. The dog has on a Packer sweater. Grandma got cheese earrings. And I was like, I love this culture. This is so amazing. But the coldest game, guys, I really thought they were going to forfeit the game. It was when I did the first leap. It was 12 below with the wind chill. I never heard of wind chill. I'm from Florida. I heard of hurricanes.
Right.
But not, I really thought, because the guy said, well, wait a minute. The Raiders are from California. I said, but that's their problem. I'm talking about me.
Right.
It's freezing. But that's when we try to use it to our advantage.
We want to ask you about that Lambeau Leap, and we're talking about firsts, being the first residency here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, first person to do the Lambeau Leap. But was the Lambeau Leap there before they did the Cheeseheads?
Well, the Cheesehead's always been there.
It was, okay.
Yeah, the cheese, and to be honest with you, the cheese and to put on your head, you could not find one. Everybody bought them.
Yeah.
Because we have other things made of cheese. To be honest with you, we have butts, we have bras.
You name it, you'll sell it.
Everything. But for some reason, the cheese head, because you can see it on camera at games.
Okay.
So that just took off. We have smaller ones for kids. I mean, they got one with chin straps.
Yeah.
And it was just to let people know that Wisconsin cheese, not only the number one in cheese, our fan base is owned by the shareholders.
Correct.
We don't have an owner. So that's the connection. And I love that because that's why I played for just the Packers my whole career, because I love that fan base.
So you jump into the stands. We dub it the Lambeau Leap. I don't know who called it that first. Your
Robert
first
Brooks.
instinct.
Robert Brooks.
Robert did? Wide receiver, right?
Is it going to be a penalty? Did you know it was going to catch on? I mean,
Good
how
question.
does this... Yeah.
Because Holmgren told the defensive team, because Mike Holmgren was amazing. He says if any defensive back or linebacker get a fumble or interception, don't lateral the ball. But this Reggie White. So Reggie lateraled me the ball. And I just remember after I jumped in the stands, after some guy yelled at me that I owed him a beer because he spilled his beer. I'm confused why people would drink beers and 12 below. But, hey, Wisconsin take beer very seriously.
We've been there.
I remember they were trying to figure out, was it a touchdown? And it was still, because it wasn't replay.
Okay.
And I just remember one of our interns come say, man, they're going to fine you for that because I don't think you can interact with the fans. I say, I'm not interacting with fans. I'm interacting with owners.
Ooh.
He said,
wow.
I stand corrected.
Okay.
and shout out to Paul Tagliabue. That's my guy. When he transitioned over, he godfathered it in so you could still do it. You can't do individual stuff, which I think the Icky Shuffle was fire. I mean, I love the Icky Shuffle, but group celebrations, fine. And you can do the leap because it's not about me, it's about our fans. And honestly, when they put the statue out front, they were like, well, we're going to put you and a statue doing the leap. I said, no, I don't really want that. I want the fan to be me. Remove me out of it. Put a statue there with fans, the bronze, like,
nice.
And you can be me. And then people line up.
Oh, wow.
To take a photo.
Picture, and they sit there like they're doing the leap.
Wow.
And that's what I wanted. I wanted it to be the fabric and DNA of the team. Because they're doing leaps, they're winning games.
Right. That's awesome. LeRoy Butler joining us in studio. Hall of Famer, Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2022. The originator of the Lambeau Leap, as he just described so eloquently for us here. And this residency program. I want you to share with our listeners right now, because this is the first one, right?
Yes.
What they can expect. Like, what do they have you doing this week? And we're hearing about Donnie Shell and Lynn Swan, Tim Brown are going to be.
Tim Brown's next.
Yeah. Who is?
Tim Brown.
Tim Brown. Okay, so these guys are going to be coming in for residency for a week, doing various things. So share with our listeners what they can expect and what they've put you through so far.
Here's why Jim Porter's platinum, our president and boss. He asks questions people normally don't ask. What do you like to do? And he waits for an answer. So I get with Jonathan, one of our liaison, and I kind of tell him what I want to do. I like to speak at schools. I wanted to speak to the chamber. I wanted to visit some nonprofits. I wanted to do some networking. And they put together an amazing schedule for you. And I wanted to greet people. Because I think on a snowy, windy, cold day in Canton, if you're going to bring your kids up on a Wednesday and a Thursday or Friday, and you see a gold jacket there to say hi, it's truly amazing. Because if I was a kid coming with my grandparents and saw, no matter what team he's on, a gold jacket, because it's only 378, that can change lives. And that's why we did it. And we're going to do maybe 4 more appearances before I leave.
Nice.
So guys will do different stuff. So what I just explained, other guys will do other stuff they like to do. You know, because we may have guys throwing footballs with kids or whatever they want to visit, businesses. If they want to grow their business and talk to people, you know, we'll make sure they make a stop here for sure.
I love the fact that you're a fabric of the community here, because when you come back for more than just a parade and an induction ceremony for the next class, this means a lot to people like myself. And I saw that you spoke at my high school, I believe it was yesterday. So when you speak to a bunch of high school kids, how is the message perceived now that, you know, we've seen the game change?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Has the message changed?
Well, it depends, and that's a good question. This is a good show. Y'all ask good questions.
Thanks.
Gibbs was 3rd graders.
Okay.
That's elements. That's different.
Right.
McKinley, high school, but just the football team, that's a different message. Because I only wear the gold jacket to let them know that this is the payoff. But I have to let them know what I went through in high school.
Right.
And when I was telling them how hard I had it, how much I love emotionally my teammates, and I respect my coaches, and that teachers to me are the smartest people in the world. Because my grandmother said God gave them the ability to give you what you need to read a playbook. But if you don't love the guy next to you in this room, you're never going to win. And you got to be emotionally in check to say, if your boy is about to get 15 yards, pull him back and say, not now. Not now. But you got to do that off the field. Not now. And then when you get him back, not ever. Because I think for the most part, if it wasn't for Brett Favre, Reggie White, Antonio Freeman, and all these guys, there's no LeRoy Butler with a jacket. They need to hear that kind of teamwork stuff. And the coach that they have, I just want people to know that if it wasn't for Holmgren, you know, Coach Bobby Bowden, these guys, when we're out hanging out, they're in the building. So never disrespect your teacher, your coach, adults, people who can help you. And I think they need to hear that message, because that was told to me, but it was by my grandparents.
Right.
And my parents, 'cause I grew up in poverty in the inner city, poor, and, you know, disabled, and kids bullied me all the time, but I ignored them. And my teacher was brilliant. She said they're just like fans. Because when you play in the NFL, I was in the 5th grade, she says, because when you play in these stadiums, they're not going to say some good stuff on those posters. You can't go up there and fight them. You fight them by playing well and beating them.
Right.
And
that's how you shut them up.
They go home sad.
Right.
So that's what she taught me. It's really a game. So I want them to understand that you're a former high school. It's a game of life. And you take that on the field, you say, you know, it's get a little bit easier because we're a lot closer.
It's great stuff. LeRoy Butler, our guest. I'm just looking at, your Wiki page.
Oh, boy.
Super Bowl champ, played in 2 Super Bowls, 4-time first-team All-Pro. I always tell you, All-Pro is more important than Pro Bowl. Okay?
No question.
You're All-Pro.
No question.
You're the you know what, all right?
Yes.
So 4-time there. 1990s All-Decade team, Packers Hall of Fame, and a Hall of Famer. So when you put all that together, and I read up on you and go back to when you were, a baby, and it's it tells about how you were so pigeon-toed they had to break your feet when you were born, and then you were like Forrest Gump wearing the braces, right?
Yes.
And I mean, could you ever imagine everything that you've been through, as a kid and through high school being bullied, you'd be where you are today?
This may sound a little arrogant, but maybe it's supposed to, because I want kids to hear this. Yes, because that's what I was told. My mom, when she asked me, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, I want to play in the NFL to get you out of poverty. My grandmother, the same day, she said, God gave everybody a talent. You have to figure out what it is. My grandfather took over from there and said, yes, your talent. Because I didn't get I didn't go to sleepovers. I didn't go to the malls. I didn't have a bunch of friends. I couldn't go to the swimming pool because I had braces. I couldn't do any of that. And he said my talent was I could ignore negative stuff. So if that's all I had to think about, then yes, I expected to be where I am because I knew somebody in this neighborhood was going to do something fantastic, and it was going to be me. Everybody think like that. And along the way, you get a one yes from people. We get tons of no's all the time. No, but the one yes you always remember. For some reason, God gave me a lot of one yeses, and I try to do that to other people. Be that one yes for people. And I will say this, when the Packers put me on the board, I never thought that would happen. Nah. I thought, no. Because I thought and I was wrong, that boards are like, people that sit in a room and half are asleep and half of them awake and they're drinking coffee and nothing gets done. Yeah. It's not like that. It's people that come together for a common cause to do what you want to do, and you're in committees. So I was very, very, I was very emotional when that happened. So I want to thank Mark Murphy, the president, for that.
Real quick, JT, in high school, you're a Hall of Fame safety. Did you play both ways in high school?
You had to.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Some schools are bigger where you didn't.
No, you're right. Yeah. We had 32 guys.
On the team?
Yes. Both ways. Guys shared helmets.
Really?
Like offense, you wear it. Defense, you wear it. Now, me, I was All-American. I didn't have to do that. My high school helmet is at the Hall of Fame Museum.
Nice.
And it had that bar on it.
Oh, yeah.
Like Larry Zonka.
Yeah. The little horseshoe.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember those.
Yes. And then, then all of a sudden they went to the Greasy. Bob Greasy. It was open. Sure. But, yes, we played teams, had 100 kids. They had an offense, defense, special team, and we beat them all. I didn't have a 300-pound guy on my team. Our line was 250.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
You mentioned Mark Murphy of the Green Bay Packers. What about Mark Murphy, the player?
That's my
from
guy.
Canton, Ohio.
I just saw him.
He's around? I haven't seen him in years.
Yeah, I saw him at A Whole Lot of Love, I think is the name of the coffee shop.
Okay.
People with disabilities. We're doing a fundraiser for them tonight. And he comes in there, and he was number 37.
Sure.
Him and Chuck Cecil were the two safeties, and I was a cornerback. So in 92, that's when everything changed. Mm-hmm. And they drafted Terrell Buckley a little bit later. They moved me to safety.
Okay.
So I remember all Murphy's kids when they were little, now they're grown women. Mm-hmm. And he's such an amazing guy. I was so glad to see him. I love him a bunch because he was one of those guys I had to learn from coming from Florida State.
That's amazing. We're going to talk about Florida State here in a second. You mentioned a couple of names, Reggie White, larger than life to guys like that, like us living in Canton. We grew up in the shadow of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Brett Favre, obviously. Yeah. Coach Bowden back at Florida State. What about Deion Sanders?
Well, Deion comes up to me, and this was impactful. I'm a Proposition 48. That means I didn't pass the SAT test. And Coach Bowden came to my mom in the projects. He came there and made a home visit. And he said, I got to give him a scholarship to get him out of, the projects. And I really appreciate that because he only had one home visit. He visited a kid that was ineligible.
Wow.
Again, that one yes. I get the Florida State.
I don't mean to cut you off. As a defensive player or offensive player?
Well, you play both.
But going to college, too?
Yes. No. Okay. I played both in high school. They don't give you a position till you get there.
Okay.
Then they figure it out.
Right. Yeah, they kind of figure it out. They'll put you, with scrimmage.
He's recruiting you as an athlete.
Yes.
You're good enough
yes.
to they'll figure you out.
Okay. Yes. My mom I got all my genes from my mom, trust me. So I go in there and I'm looking at the depth chart. But I sat out a year. So a lot of the freshmen, they got a year ahead of me. And I'm sitting there like, oh, man. Okay, coach said I'm going to play safety. I said, okay. And I looked up, there was 5 safeties ahead of me. I said, I'm never going to play. To myself, he came up to me. He said, listen, don't go by depth charts. Forget about that. If you're good enough, they'll put you somewhere. So I said, I'm going to play special teams. And one guy gets hurt, one guy flunks out, one guy gets in an argument with his girlfriend or something. gets arrested. Next thing you know, you second string. And that's how it works. Right. In team sports, the ultimate team sport, if you're on a depth chart and you're third team, you have to study like you're first team. Mm-hmm. Anything can happen. And when you go into the game to perform, as most people know, there's 31 other teams watching you in the pros. In college, there's hundreds watching you. Now they got that portal. We didn't have the portal.
Right.
And then I remember my rag, I had a white rag like Dion. He snatched it off. I said, "What's going on?" He said, "It ain't long enough." The guy was awesome, man. He was awesome. He was the best at it, and he'd tell you. Yeah. And I love that. So
Fastest
I learned a lot
man you
from
ever
him.
saw in the NFL?
There's not a. I said something the other day on social media. He's the best athlete ever. I don't care what state. I don't think he's human. Because ever since his mom sent him to Florida State, he'd tell you he's the best, and he'd be the best. But here's what he showed you. The same week he qualified in the 100 and 200 in the for the Olympics, just to qualify. When he played baseball, he hit 2 home runs. And we waited because he was our intramural basketball. He was on our basketball team.
Oh, jeez.
We ain't starting till he get there. Him and Charlie Ward, we ain't doing nothing. Right. We holding the game up to Charlie Ward coming Dion. Because Dion going to give us 30 and 11. Some guys you're born like that. Like LeBron James. He was born with a beard. Yeah. Born with teeth. He's a grown man. Yeah. You have guys like that. Guys like me, I wasn't like that. But that's why I tell other kids, it's not about height, weight, and 40 times. It's can you play? Mm-hmm. And they got a spot for you. That changed my life.
LeRoy Butler with us, and he's in town as part of the Hall of Fame's new residency program. What do you still have left, for the rest of your
Why don't you just move here and get it over with?
You know what? That may be coming in the future.
All right.
Okay.
To build some condos or apartments for guys to stay a couple weeks at a time.
Okay.
Because my wife loves it here.
Nice.
We love it here. We got a fundraiser tonight. Tomorrow I'll be working the store. So come on down. Allegedly, you can use my discount.
So the Hall of Fame store, the gift shop.
Yeah, it was about 2,000 people show up. Hey, LeRoy said you. Hey, that was jokes. That was jokes. But I'm going to greet people, basically work the store, sign autograph. I have an autograph session.
Okay.
Because a lot of people want autographs, and I can't sign when you're moving around. Mm-hmm. So they can come to the autograph session. And, of course, you can go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame website and see all the times and everything.
Well, not just for you, but for the upcoming residencies, too,
yes,
right? That's
yes.
where all that information is going to be at the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Because I'm telling you, you're going to be riding around getting gas in Canton.
Yeah.
Or and you're going to see a gold jacket and say, what, is that?
Yeah.
Yes, that's him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And just go over and interact with him.
Speaking of jackets, JT, because we're running out of time here.
Oh.
You got something for the first ever residency Hall of Fame,
That's right. So
I love gifts.
At the Pro Football Hall of Fame, they give gold jackets. Not here on the Kenny and JT show. We got you a little bit of something different.
It don't matter. Let me have it.
All right. Wait till you see this.
You know I live in Milwaukee.
Brian, I'll take a photo of this. Hold on, JT.
Because being the first Lambeau Leap, you get the first gift from the Kenny and JT show. We want you to have this, and we appreciate you coming. We want you to open that right here.
Thank you very much.
On Facebook Live with us.
I hope you got me a small.
No. Look what we got.
Oh, boy.
Look how we do it.
You trying to make me cry?
No, that's how we do it here.
Yeah, don't do that.
I got a cousin that works at Nike.
Oh, man.
We got you a starter jacket.
Oh, a starter?
Well, it's a dry fit Nike jacket, my man. Like a sweatsuit with the Florida Seminole on it.
Look at that.
See there?
Can you see it?
There you go.
Yep, you're good.
How nice is that?
Nice.
Man, thank you so much.
Love you, man. Thank you for coming here today. We really appreciate it.
That's one of the best gifts I ever got.
That's how we do it, man.
I don't get Florida State stuff.
That's what happens.
Because we're back.
That's right.
We are back.
Yeah,
we would take us another hour if we talked about what happened to them last year.
I know.
Not getting into the playoffs, but that's unfortunate. That's for another time. We appreciate everything you do for us here. We appreciate what you do for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but more importantly, for our community, because that's why Kenny and myself are here. So God bless you.
But we thank you, too, though, because without you on radio getting the message out, it'd be hard for us to do it. So thank you so much.
And the other thing, too, real quick for our listeners, I wrote it down here. LeRoyButlerInc.com.
Yes.
Can people stay? Because you talked about bullying and being bullied. I know that's something that's near and dear to your heart that you want to speak on, and people can get more information on it there.
Absolutely. Be friends, not enemies.
That's it. Outstanding.
Yes.
LeRoy, thanks so much for coming in. Thanks so much for kicking off the
is a
Residency
pleasure.
program. I hope you enjoy the jacket. And you're welcome back anytime, all right?
Thank you.
All right, we'll get a break in right now. We'll come back with more of the Kenny and JT show right after this.
It's Kenny and JT on WHBC.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband